It all comes back to money.
This is the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steindler.
Welcome back to Keeping Your Money Show. Jamie Westenbarger, joined this week by Matt Cernaw. If you're just tuning in, we've been talking about caps on student loan borrowing that's being proposed by the White House, as well as maybe asking some of these universities to start taking some responsibility for the graduates that they are putting out there, or even the non-graduates that they're charging $70,000 before they don't graduate. Discussed a plan to allow Social Security to pay for parental leave, which we were resoundingly not fans of. Barron's actually calls it a terrible idea. Cutting these expenses can add over $500,000 to your retirement savings, the study finds. We discussed how you don't have to eliminate fun, but at least knowing what fun is costing, and not what it's costing today, but what is it costing long term, can definitely set you up for a much happier retirement. If you missed any part of the show, you can find it on our website. Go to keepingyourmoney.com. You can also find it on all of our podcast partners. If you're not following us on Facebook, you should. Got good stuff on there. Tell you about upcoming events, things we're going to be talking about on the show. I know we got a shredding party coming up here in a couple weeks out in a month or so out in Hudsonville, our new Hudsonville office, with our advisor out there, Jonathan Hayes, and our friends at Shield Insurance. So yeah, get on there, facebook.com/keepingyourmoney. And of course, you can always call us. 888-98-MONEY is the number, 888-986-6639, whether it's for a second opinion. Maybe it's because you want to talk about how much you hate Matt being on here and you never want him to come back on the show. We take those calls as well. I can transfer you directly to him.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Your wife's going to probably call now. She'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Keep them there all day.
All right, so let's talk about HSAs. We've talked about in the past how valuable they really are, and really trying to get the word out and regularly try and educate people that HSAs aren't just the surface of what you think they are. You know, so many people think, okay, put this money away for my family, and then when I have to pay copays and deductibles, I take the money out and I pay copays and deductibles. And yes, that is absolutely what they were designed for, but they can be so much more than that because of how really friendly they are for saving you money on taxes, whether it's it's tax deferred when you put it in. The growth is tax free and the withdrawals are tax free as long as you take it out and use it for medical expenses. So it can be an extremely valuable resource to have when it comes to planning for the future.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of flexibility, not only in the current year or in the next couple of years, but also well down the road. So it's important to make sure that we're maximizing the benefits that the HSAs offer. We have a short list here of some of the not so traditional loopholes or features even that many people aren't aware of and that we'd highly encourage you to review and make sure it's appropriate for your situation. One on the top of the list is making sure to go beyond your end-of-year contribution. Similar to an IRA, you're able to make a prior year contribution up until the time you file your taxes. You can do the exact same thing with an HSA account. So if you get a spring bonus from your employer,
I was just going to say that end-of-the-year bonus that comes in February.
Hey, here's to maxing out last year's HSA account. Mm-hmm. So great opportunity.
And really, if you have an HSA available to you, especially if you're already maxing out your 401k and there's no reason to not be putting it in there, especially if you've got a family. I mean, let's be honest. Even if your thought process is, I don't know if we could save this forever, I might need this for deductibles or copays, which is fine. I mean, that's what it's there for. You still should be trying to max it out because that's another chunk of change you're not going to have to pay taxes on, which is, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that's $7,000 for a family that you don't have to pay taxes on. You're probably going to pay $7,000 throughout the year for things like copays, deductibles, prescriptions, glasses, dental, the things that just aren't covered.
Yeah, and making sure that you build that account, even if it takes you a couple of years to put together a plan, so that you have the full amount of your max out-of-pocket available to you into the HSA account in the event you have some sort of catastrophic health event.
Well, what's really cool, and we've talked about this before that's on this list, is the idea of, reimbursing yourself for medical expenses. And that doesn't have to happen right away. So if you had a surgery this year and, your copay and deductible for that was $10,000 and you have the money to just pay for that, the fact that you paid that out of pocket, you can reimburse yourself from your HSA later because of that. So you have a surgery in January, you make the payment to the doctor and the hospital and everything. And then in July, you find yourself in a little bit of financial difficulty and you're like, man, I really wish I wouldn't have paid that out of pocket. You can still take money out of the HSA at that point in time and reimburse yourself. You can also do it years later. So you can still have that money in there, and that can make for tax-free withdrawals even into retirement if you've maintained the receipts for things you've paid for that were of a medical nature.
Same thing if you're at the drugstore and you have a $100 copay for your prescriptions and you forget your HSA card at home, you can go down to your HSA provider, get that $100 back as long as you have the receipt to do it. Another feature of the HSA for those nearing or into retirement is the ability to use those HSA funds to pay your long-term care premiums.
Right. Yeah, that's a big deal. Obviously, if you've put this money away tax-free and now you can pay for that long-term care insurance that you need and also not pay taxes on the money coming out to pay for that, that's a huge benefit.
That's a great way to help with those premiums.
Mm-hmm. One thing that people really need to do in HSAs, though, too, is a lot of times we see where maybe a husband and wife each have one at work, or maybe there's an old one, you left work and it's still there. HSAs can be expensive if they're not administered properly. So you want to keep an eye out for what your expenses in those accounts are. Look to consolidate those if possible. Look at some online options, which sometimes can be, I run mine through, this isn't an endorsement, check out, but I run mine through an online, HSA company that doesn't charge me, like a monthly fee. Sometimes the local banks and credit unions, they don't really want them. So, you're in this position of paying like a $5 monthly service charge just to have it.
Or you're not earning any interest
Right.
because you don't have enough balance.
Right. You don't want to be in those.
Yeah, if you're able to consolidate those to save on fees, earn better rates, or open up more options for you, that's a great option to take a look at.
And remember, too, if you're saving in an HSA and you've maxed out retirement options, you probably look at that as a health account, but understanding that as you accumulate balance in that, you do have the ability to roll that money into an IRA later. Now, it may or may not make sense for you to do so, but that option does exist. And you also, once per lifetime, can do the opposite. You can roll from an IRA or Roth IRA into an HSA as well.
Yeah, so it's a tremendous opportunity if you have a catastrophic health event and the majority of your funds are in that qualified retirement plan, to be able to move that over and make the decision to use the HSA to take care of those expenses.
Could save you thousands of dollars in penalties and taxes had you just taken it out of the IRA to start with.
Exactly.
Yep, huge benefit. So, all right, well, we're going to go into a break, come back here in a second, wrap up the show and send you in the weekend right here on the Keep Your Money Show.
Is your 401k sturdy enough to help support your retirement goals? The Keeping Your Money Show has a team of advisors that will help you size up the assets currently in your 401k and explore asset allocation based on your goals. Call the Keeping Your Money Show today at 1-888-98-MONEY or visit keepingyourmoney.com to learn how you can start solidifying your foundation for a strong retirement plan.
I'm not going to stand here in front of one of the great wonders of the world and argue about an old movie. I'll go back inside. If you figure out some plan to make $800 last a lifetime, knock on the door. I'll be in there.
You're listening to the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steinler.
All right, welcome back to Keep Your Money Show. Jamie Westenbarger, joined this week by Matt Cerno. Hey, Matt. Nice show, man. Thanks for coming in.
Great to be here.
I feel like Matt's kind of a natural, Laura. He did pretty well with this, right? Bart, beware.
Yeah.
Better not take too many trips.
That face for radio.
But if you're just tuning in, maybe you're waiting for the next show. It is March Madness weekend, so depending on what station you're on, maybe you're waiting for a basketball game to get kicked off. just letting you know, come back an hour earlier next week. You missed us talking about caps, proposed caps on student loan borrowing, as well as maybe getting universities to be a little bit more involved and on the hook for the results. A terrible proposal to use Social Security to pay for parental leave. Cutting these expenses can add over $500,000 to your retirement savings, a study finds, and 6 little-known HSA tips that will save you money. If you missed any part of the show, you can always find it on our website. Just go to keepingyourmoney.com. You can also find it in any of our podcast partners, iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, or Stitcher. Just search for the Keeping Your Money Show. And those do show up usually about 2 weeks after the air on the air, because we got to run them through the compliance and all that stuff before we can put them out there on the internet. If you want to contact us, a couple ways you can do that. You can always give us a call. 888-98-MONEY is the number. That's 888-986-6639. You can also email us info at keepingyourmoney.com. And I do respond to all of those emails personally. I'm going to tell you like I tell you every week. You never plan a trip. Maybe you're going to go watch the Final Four. You're not just going to show up, hope they have tickets. I mean, you can, but it's going to be really expensive. No one just shows up at the airport to try and board a plane. With the way the TSA works, that's not going to happen. If you were standing on a dock thinking you're going to get on the next Royal Caribbean cruise ship without a ticket ahead of time, you're going to be kind of sad because it's not going to work out so well. It's really no different when it comes to planning for our retirement. So many times we think of retirement as this magical date that we're going to arrive at. I'm going to be 65 and I'm going to just quit and I'm going to sit in a chair and things are going to be great. But in reality, it's just the beginning of the next 25, 30, even 40 years of your life. With life expectancies continuing to go into our late 90s, even 100, we're going to know in our lifetime many people that are 100 years old, which just seems crazy, but it's the reality of the direction we're going. And if you're not planning properly for that, if you don't have a roadmap for your retirement, if you don't know what the income plan is, how do you access the money you've worked so hard to save to make sure you don't run out of it when you're retired? If you don't have a plan for that, then you're just flying by the seat of your pants. And the next time we have some type of market event or recession or anything like that, it's going to smack you in the face and it's going to hurt. So if you don't have that, let us help you. Give us a call. 888-98-MONEY is the number. 888-986-6639. I don't care if you have an advisor. I don't care if you worked with somebody for 20 years. If they haven't given you an income plan, you're missing half of the equation of what's going to make this successful for you. So whether it's a first opinion or a second opinion, we'd love to talk to you. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. Matt, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
For everyone here at the Keeping Your Money Show, Dan Van Singel, Shane Thorson, Nate Boonstra, Matt Cerno, Adam Seifert, Jonathan Hayes, Troy Fox, all of our partners, Kylan Law, Broll Tax, Shield Insurance, my compadre, Bart Steinler out in Arizona, our awesome producer, Laura Ridenauer. I'm Jamie Westenbarger. This is Keeping Your Money Show. Have a great weekend and watch some basketball.
Registered representatives offer securities through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Financial advisors offer advisory services through Securities America Advisors, Inc. Forest Hills Financial, Inc. and Securities America are separate entities.
Rich is just a really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich? No. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.